Okay, a person falling from rest into the water, right? Okay, there we go. And then we got the water here, right? Okay, so this is 8.92 meters, right? And then let's assume that this person, they just sort of jump into the water, right? They want to take a little bath or something like that, right? So they just fall, right? Okay, they fall from rest, right? Okay, into the water. So let's say that their initial velocity is 0. That's what I think it is, right? Whoops. Equals 0. I don't know why I did that. The human brain is a funny thing. Okay, so negative 9.8 is our acceleration, and then our displacement is negative 8.92, and that's because the person isn't going to go up; they're actually going to go down. Okay, so that is where we're going to lose you right there. Okay, so there we go. Now we have all this right, and then we want to find. I'm going to solve this first, and then this first, and I'm going to do those two things. And then this guy is a separate problem. So I'm going to erase and do it over again. Okay? So let's do that. Let's solve for final velocity and time, right? And then I'll erase it and we'll solve for whatever that is. Okay? Okay, so let's see. Final velocity, I want to use no t. So which one's that? That's this guy. Is vi squared plus 2ax, right? Okay, so the v final squared is equal to the square vf squared, right? It says I'm going to square root this guy, right? So 0 squared plus 2 times negative 9.8 times negative 8.92, right? Ta-da! Okay. So what I did two steps there. I plugged numbers in, and then I took the square root of this, because that's all we have to do to get the VF, right? Okay, so there we go. Notice that the minus there and the minus there make that a positive number. We can now take the square root of it. So I go square root left paren of 2 times negative 9.8 times negative 8.92. Right? So there we go. We've got error, syntax error. What did I do? All right, hey, let's go to it. Oh, delete. What did I do? There we go. Are we ready? Syntax error. Delete it. Oh, I see what it is. I put a decimal point in there where it shouldn't be. Okay, now we're good. Okay. Entry. Hold on. I'm just having a hard time here. Okay. 13.222. Okay. I'm getting that the absolute value of this is 13.222 meters per second, right? Now, we understand that this person, when they just before they hit the water, is going down. So I'm going to put for my final velocity negative 13.2 meters per second. Okay, so that's another thing, right? You got to put the minus sign on there. Our convention is that down is negative. So if you don't have a minus sign on there, we're not going to get that right. Okay, so where did that minus sign come from? It didn't come from our calculator. It came from the fact that we knew that it could be plus or minus, right? It's an absolute value, right? So because it can be a plus or minus, right? We have to choose. We have to choose whether it's plus or minus, right? So we choose plus or minus, right? Okay. In this case, it's going down, so we choose minus. Okay. And then we want to get our time, right? Let's see, to find time. I think what I'm going to use is this guy. X is VIT plus 1/2 AT squared. Okay. So here we go. Let's see, negative 8.92 is equal to, and then this is 0 plus 1/2 times negative 9.8 times t squared, right? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bust this thing out here, right? So I get negative 8.92 is equal to negative 4.9 t squared, right? And now I'm going to divide 8.92, so negative 8.92 divided by negative 4.9. That's 1.8204. 8204 is t squared, right? So now how do I figure out what t is? Well, I take the square root of that, right? So I'm going to go second square root, second answer. And I get 1.349 seconds. So t is 1.349 seconds, right? That's not a 5, that's an s, okay? So this is our answer there, right? Okay, so that's the first part there. We solved this basically going from here down to the water, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve this last one here. So I'm about to hit erase. Everything's going to go away. And now let's do this guy, right? Okay, so 1.10 seconds. Our initial velocity is still 0. This guy is still negative 9.8, right? And then our time is 1.10 seconds. Now, it hits the water at 1.35 seconds. So at 1.10 seconds, I think it's going to be more than halfway down, right? But let's figure out our final velocity, right? It's not going to be going as fast as 13.2, right? So let's figure this out. I guess for final velocity, I would use no x, right? Use one that doesn't have that, right? So final velocity is vi plus at, so final velocity is 0 plus negative 9.8 times 1.10. There we go, that's it, that's all it is, right? So negative 9.8 times 1.1, negative 10.78. And with 2 sig figs or 3 sig figs or 3 digits, right, you would say negative 10.8 meters per second. And these all of these assessment questions, they all have like 3 digits like that. Okay. So you had to do this one separately because these first two, the first and last question, dealt with starting at the top, hitting the bottom, right? This one deals with starting at the top, right? And then 1.1 seconds you're here, right? Right? You're not all the way to the water because that happens at 1.35 seconds, right? So we have got to start it over again. It's a new thing.